Here we are, day 36. I got myself some ceremonial cacao. So, cheers. Brought my Vitamix here. And so, happy to have it back. Makes me so happy. Basically went a month and a half without my Vitamix. So, really, really grateful to have it back. And I can't wait to make smoothies tomorrow. Oh, and the other thing, someone donated a juice press at the food bank. So guess what I got? I got a juice press, so now I'm going to make juices and smoothies. And it's like, overall a really good day of like manifestations coming true, because I have put the juice press on my list of manifestations of things I desire. And voila, universe response. But the other thing, guess what? I'm sleeping on an actual bed. Julie has a bed. So anyways, I'm only here short term because it is staff housing. So they are only helping me out in the interim. Also, it is not in Tofino. I would rather be in Tofino just because of how many commitments I have going on there at the moment. And so I have some leads of things coming up that I'm going to be following through within the next 2 weeks. And then we'll see what else comes up. In the meantime, I'm going to continue working on manifesting my dream home and getting into that. And so this is just a step. I'm really grateful for having also my plants back. I basically took some things. I brought some things here. I didn't bring all my stuff here just because I have way too much stuff and because I'm here only short term. I wanted to just bring what I needed. And so that's what I did. And so brought my plants, made it look a little homey. I somewhat unpacked. I still have my clothes in my suitcases because I got tired. And as a projector, I needed my nap. So I took a nap. And so now here I am doing this live post-snap with ceremonial cacao. I'm drinking out of a Drift mug, which is my friend's business in Tofino, which I love supporting. And so, best coffee in town. Even though I'm not drinking coffee in here, they do have the best coffee in town. Hands down. They make killer coffee. Okay, what did I actually want to talk about? Yes, I did actually have something to talk about. And so, today, okay, let me just be able to get this story right so I'm not repeating myself too much. I was at the food bank. I volunteer at the food bank every Wednesday. And it is just something I've been doing ever since I came to Tofino. For me, it's being part of the community, getting to know a lot of people in town. And it just feels good to be there and just help out. And so I was getting some stuff out of my trunk, and one of the individuals that visits the food bank every week, she was it looks like, you're moving. And I'm well, no, actually, I'm I am, but been kind of moving around for the past month and a half, jumping house hopping, couch surfing, jumping place to place. And she was oh, she's that really sucks, but she's I didn't expect that from you. You're so put together, you dress well, and the way you carry yourself, you feel she's it looks like you come from money, and that you got your shit together. And so it was just something really interesting for someone to say to me. I get this a lot, actually. And I wanted to address it. I wanted to come and talk about it a little bit, because I do find yes, there is some benefits to it for sure. Of obviously, what I desire in my life in terms of my business and my life. And I am always making sure I'm stepping into my higher self, stepping into that. And it's nice to see that it's being showcased. But at the same time, I get this all the time. Of like, oh, you got your shit together. You're doing good. Like, you're fine. But when really, in reality, there are times where I'm not. And I want to talk about this because there are times where I'm not okay. There are times where I break down. There are times when life sucks. There are times where I'm depressed. There are times where I wonder what's the point of living. There are all those times. They exist, and I hold space for them. But to make an assumption that I've got my shit together, sometimes it feels like I'm crying for help. And they're like, oh, but Julie, you got this. You're fine. You're okay. But really, it's like, no, I'm not. And there are a few people in my life that I know that I can reach out to in those moments, and that I know that they got me no matter what. And it's like my family, definitely, like my parents, my sister, for sure. They're there for me, left, right, and center, even though at times it is challenging for them to hold space for me in certain moments. And I have a few friends here and there as well, but on the most part, most people are like, I'm fine. You got this. You're okay. And it's like, no, I'm not. And I want to talk about this because we live in a world where we judge everybody based on how they look, based on their social media, based on everything without really knowing what's going on. And like, your presence is going to showcase a certain percentage of what's going on. Your energetic presence, it's gonna showcase a certain percentage of what's going on. Your physical appearance is gonna showcase another percentage. Your social media presence is gonna, we all share only a certain percentage of our actual lives, and it's all a very small percent of these like firsthand experiences, of these like appearances. And people are very quick to judge of like, oh, this person's doing fine. But really deep down, you know I'm right. Deep down, you know that we make these assumptions on others when we think they're okay and they're not. When we think that they're living a certain life and they're not. And so sometimes it's just taking a moment when you hear yourself say something like that. Take a moment and see what you're saying. Because saying that is something that's being mirrored back to you. We're all a mirror. So if you see me as someone who's got their shit all together, where do you not have your shit together? And why is that triggering you? Because that's what that is. And so I want to talk about that. Let me know your thoughts. It's a comment I get a lot. And so, yeah. Like, share, comment. Let me know your thoughts on this, because I find it's just a really interesting thing I get. And I'm sure if you've gotten as well, let me know. Like if that is something you've experienced as well, where people like say like, oh, you've got it all together. You seem fine. You look happy on Instagram. You look happy on Facebook. But the reality is, there are going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be dark moments, there's going to be light moments, there's going to be amazingness, and there's going to be like shittiness. That's the reality. And so just because one person seems okay, seems amazing on social media, you don't know all. So don't make the assumption. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So don't assume. You know what they say about assume. I don't need to spell that out. All right, that is day 36. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.